Oh, thank you for watching this video. This video is brought to you by newqbo.com. That's our QBO blog. So we have great articles and free video tutorials to help you. So you may want to check it out. So in this video, I'm going to talk about QuickBooks tutorial. This is QuickBooks 2020, the latest one, getting started for beginners. So let's get started. So first, I'm going to go to our website and show you how to get started. Okay, so here's our website. It's newqbo.com. So if you already have QuickBooks Online, that's fine. If not, if you want to subscribe QuickBooks Online, then you can come to our website. We have affiliate links with discount. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click test drive in here. Test drive. Okay, I'm on test drive page, and again you have affiliate links in here. So you can subscribe, sign up for a 30-day free trial. You get some discount, or you can just do the one-time try. If you just want to learn one time, you can just click try one time. So in this case, I'm going to sign up for a 30-day trial. Click that one, click that link. It's affiliate link. It'll take to QuickBooks Online page. So at this point, this happens to be President's Day sale, and they have a 70% off. So normally they will have like a 50% off, for 3 months. And if you just sign up now, it's 70%. But you can just sign up, pay now, or let's say you just want to sign up for a free trial for 3 months or 1 month. So all you have to do is try it for 30 days. So there's a link right here. Try it for 30 days. So you have to click that link. So just click that link, and then you need to select which plan you want. So in this case, free 30-day trial includes QuickBooks Online Plus, no credit card needed. Okay, so if it's a brand new account, you need to put the email address, and then you can create a user ID after that, or you can also include your mobile name and password and sign up with email. Okay, and since I already have a sign up and I have a user ID, so I'm just gonna create adding a company to an existing account. So I just want to use the same ID, same user ID. So I'm gonna click adding a company to an existing account, and the process is still the same. So I'm gonna sign in. Okay, it'll ask for my user ID. Okay, I'm gonna pause this for a second. Okay, I'm back, and this is the screen you will see once you sign in. The first screen says, since I'm going for a 30-day trial, they want to sell it. You can buy it. Buy now, you get the discount, and if you continue with trial, let's say 30-day, and you like it, then if you want to subscribe to it, you don't get this discount. So at that point, either you have to cancel this trial version and subscribe all over again. You lose your data. There's no way to transfer that data to a new company. So it's up to you. Really, you can just buy now. Right now, the discount is 70%. So normally they always have discount like maybe 40%, 50% for 3 months. Okay, they give you option buy now, without payroll or with payroll. So in this case, I'm just going to use continue with trial. Alright, so I'm just going to click here, continue with trial. Okay, the first thing they ask you is you tell us about your business. You can always change this once you have the company. And so I'm just going to click something here. Let's say QBO. Let's do the plus plan. So normally you write your legal name of a business, and then you can describe your business type. You can select it from the list. So this one is basically for the data, so you can just type it. Let's say this is the consulting type. Alright, so I'm just going to say select technical and scientific consulting. Okay, so you can select any way you want it. So it's basically, you can change it later on. This is just for data. Alright, so just click next. And if you are transferring your data from QuickBooks desktop, then you select this, but I'm not doing that. I'm just going to transfer. This is a brand new account. Alright, and then you go from there. It will ask you all the information, send and track and all that thing. Okay, and I'm just gonna select next. I'm just gonna ignore all that. Okay, it's trying to sell you, so it's asking something here. Well, I can just say owner or something else. Alright, I'm just gonna say owner, doesn't matter. And then they're asking, do you have an accountant, a bookkeeper? No, I do it myself. Okay, all set. Great, we'll be with you every step of the way. Alright, that's good enough. All set. Here we go. It's that simple. Okay, so this is a brand new company. There's no data or anything. Okay. Alright, so it asks you connect a bank account, see your cash flow and all that thing. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is you go to your setup. So this is a plus plan, and if you want to subscribe to Essentials or Simple Start, or if you want to upgrade to Advanced version, that's the most expensive one, you can do that. And you can see the compare features and usage limits of QuickBooks, various QuickBooks Online plans. This is from our website. I'll include this on the description of the this video. Okay, so you have 4 plans, and these are the features, like price rules. It's available on Advanced and Plus, but not on Essentials and Simple Start. Same thing. Purchase orders, yes on Advanced, yes on Plus, but no on Essentials. And so you can see all the features. This will help you which plan you really need for your business. So you may want to check this out first. Again, I'll include this link on QuickBooks description page. Alright, so you want to check it out. So you'll do a full comparison. And also, if you try to upgrade it, then you may lose that discount, Okay, so I'm going to go to the same page again. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is go to the setup. So here's a gear icon. So you'll hear this gear icon a lot. So here's the gear icon. Click that gear icon, and now you see your company here. Let's go to accountant settings. Okay, so here you can add your logo, and you can change your company name, Alright, you can change any way you want it. Then you need to include your EIN number, EIN or Social Security, There you go, and then you can fill out your tax form. What type of company is this? Business entity. Is it you fill out, you submit 1040 or 1065 or 1120S or 1120. So if you don't know, you need to check with your accountant. Alright, let's just say This one is it doesn't matter. This is just for the data only for QuickBooks. This is not going to change any reporting formats, anything like that. So this is just the data type. Okay, and then you can change the industry type you want. Just type it and then save it. Okay, and then so here's the contact info, company email. Okay, and then they have a customer facing email. Let's say you don't want to use this Gmail address, you want to use something different for sending out invoices and dealing with your customers, then you can put different name in here. Something like this, and then you can put the address, company phone and website, everything. All right, same thing with address. If you have one address, and if you want to use different address for your invoices, sales receipt, they can change it. Okay, let's move on to the billing and subscription. So this is where you come in, and if you want to upgrade or downgrade your plan, but since this is a trial one, then you can do it. But if you have like bought it 30-day, if you want to upgrade it, you will lose that 30-day discount or 3 months discount. Okay, but you can still do it. And here is your company ID. So when you call a QuickBooks support, they will ask you what is your company ID. So to get the company ID is from the gear icon under your account and settings. You should see billing and subscription. Here's the company ID, and then you if you want some sort of monthly bookkeeping service, you can get more information from here. And if you want the merchant service from QuickBooks, you can click it here. You'll have more information. So it's like a merchant service, so they charge you a fee, of course. All right, and then the next one is uses. So since this is a plus plan, this one has it'll give you 5 users. So this one has 5 users, and then limited to 250 accounts. But if you upgrade to advanced, then it's, as you can see here, 25 and unlimited accounts and classes. Okay, all right. So if you need to see like essential, what type of usage limit do they have, you can always go to our computer features page. So you've got, this is the advanced one, this is the plus, then essentials, they have 3 users, and then if you have simple start, then they'll give you only 1. So 3 means you can add 2 more. One is a master admin, then you can add another 2 standard users. Okay, so this page is pretty important. So if you want to like a bookmark this page, Okay, and I'm going to go to settings again. All right, and the sales. Okay, so you come to sales. So this is where if you want to customize your sales form, they have several templates. You can click it there, and it'll take you to custom form styles. Let's say you want so this is the standard one, and it looks like this, but if you want to just check it out and what type of other templates do they have, just click it here, and let's say this is invoice, estimate, or sales receipt. So it will create whatever invoice style you want. All right, I'm going to do it for invoice. Okay, so this is the standard one here, and if you want to see different templates, okay, this is your new, your classic, modern, fresh, bold, and friendly. So you got an idea now, and you can do a few other things. You can change the color like this, Alright, so this is the changing the format of your sales form. Okay, go back to settings again, sales. Alright, and then if you want to change the form content on invoices, like right now default is net 30, and let's say you want, well, I don't give net 30, I want due on receipt, and you can change it to due on receipt and make it default. So whenever you create an invoice, you don't have to change it to net 30 or whatever, but you can always change it when you're creating invoice, but the default is going to be net due on receipt. And then you can select preferred delivery, so print letter, send letter, none. Okay, and this one is custom fields. They have 3 custom fields. So if you are using like a sales rep, or purchase order, this is sales order from your customers, or something else, whatever, and you can make it internal only or public. So public, your customer will see it too. Sales order, same thing, like this. Okay, and then the custom transaction number is on, so it will automatically increase your transaction number. Let's say you're starting out with 1001, next invoice is going to be 1002, and you don't like that one, then you can always manually change it and then come back and change it to, let's say you want your own numbering system. You can do it manually, or you can change the starting number at this point. And then a discount is off. Deposit, so deposit is basically you have received some deposit from your customer, and like a prepayment type. It's not really deposit, it's a prepayment for that invoice. And if you are tips, using like a restaurant, if you're using tips, then you can use this feature. Alright, I'm not going to use service date or anything, so I'm just going to use as it is. Save. Okay, and then this is plus plan, and if you want to use price rule, you can turn this on. If you want to use track inventory, you can turn that on too. Okay, if you have late fees, you want to use, then this is still at beta. You can turn this on, make this on, and then you can use this feature. See, now it's you want to use the amount or percentage. You can just say $25, like per month, once a month, or percentage, like this. Apply up front, say 10%, like this. And they have other features too, so like this. How soon you want to do it. Okay, I'm just going to save this. Okay, so the late fees is on now, and then if you're using progress invoicing, so this is like you create estimates, and let's say you create estimate for 10,000, and then you want to create partial invoices on that, you could use it. Okay, and this is the messages. You can check that later on, what type of message you want to include on your sales invoice. And if you want a copy of the invoice just sent to you, you can check that one, just sent to you for your own record. You can do that, or separate one here, copy, or BCC, and you can use these estimate form too. And they have reminders. You can set up reminders for email, and then you check out the online delivery type right here, PDF. So source summary in detail, you can check it out. You can just do the testing later on, and it's all on. Okay, and expenses. Okay, so bills and expenses. So items, this is on plus plan. On Essentials Simple Start you won't have this. So items, table and expenses, purchase forms, it's off now. You can turn that on. Actually, if you can then track expenses by customers. So it's basically, you have expenses related to customer, you want to track it. Let's say you went to Home Depot and bought some supplies for your clients, and you want to track how much money you're spending on each contract, like this. And then if you want to make it billable based on that expense, then you select this, and you can select a markup. Like say, you're in Home Depot, you spend $100 and you want to mark up 25% on that, like this. And if you charge sales tax on that thing, you can just charge sales tax too, or just make it the product itself with sales tax. It's taxable. Okay. And then the payment. So this is the one. If you have a merchant service, you will see it here. All the merchant account and where the money is going to deposit, and statement, that kind of stuff. Okay, and advanced here. Alright, so the accounting method, is it accrual or cash? So this is just for the reporting. So when you run a report, as a default type, if you want to see, do you want to see accrual or cash? So if it's a cash type, then you just select cash, or accrual, select accrual. So this is depends upon your business type. How do you file your tax returns? So if you file it on cash, then you can set default as cash or accrual. But you can always change when you run a report. You can always change this to cash or accrual when you run a report. So this is just a default one. So I'm going to stick with the accrual and close the books. So this is basically, let's say you want to close the books after year end, so that you won't make a change. You won't, by mistake, you don't change it. So you can always change it. It'll just ask you your permission, basically. So it'll ask you warning or enter. You have to enter just warning or entering password. So you can always do that. Let's say I'm gonna close my books for 2019. I'm done with the transactions. So it's 12/31/2019. Okay, right here, and just save it, and then you have to enter your password and stuff, okay, just save it. Okay, and then okay, and then you have a chart of accounts. So if you want to use account number for chart of account, then you come in and you change it, to enable it. And if you want to use tips account, markup account, billable account separate, then you come here and change it. And here's the category for track classes and track locations. So this is the one. This is the plus plan. If you have essentials and simple start, you won't have these features. Okay, so I'm just gonna track classes, and so I'll give you a choice, the entire transaction or each row. So normally you want to select each row, because if you have classes, when you receive expenses, it may be applied to more than one class. So this one to each row in transaction. And track location, if you have location, location or department, all that thing. I'm going to save it. Okay, and the projects is on, and if you're not using projects, then you won't have this. You don't need this. Again, this one is the plus plan. On the essentials and simple start, you won't have the projects. Okay, and some other things, and the customer labels. So do you want to call it customers or clients? Like here, if you are non-profit, donors and members, and depends on what type of company, you can select a label here. So I'm good enough with customers. And if you want to you leave the computer on, don't want to sign out more frequently, then you can change the 3 hours right here. This is the maximum one. I'm gonna change to 3 hours, and done. Okay, I'm done with the setup. Okay. All right. So next step is the chart of accounts. All right. So this we are on dashboard. All right. So let's go to accounting and chart of accounts. So this is take a pick under the hood. So see your chart of accounts. So whenever you create your company, it will also download the default one. All these default ones, and you can always add it. Okay. So you can add up to, it's limited to 250, and that's plenty. You don't have to have, you don't need a long chart of accounts. You want to make it simple. Okay, so let's say you want to add a new one. All right, so the first is the bank account, and under detail type you can select checking account. And normally what I do is if you want to name it, let's say the bank name is Chase, and what type of account is checking, and then you put the last 4 digits of your account number. Let's say the account number last 4 is 1234, and you can copy and paste like this, and save and close. Okay, and then let's say you want to connect this to your bank account, and all you have to do is here's the checking. Under action column next to view register, you see drop down and connect bank. All right, we'll come back to that one later on, but this is what you need to do. Okay, let's finish the chart of accounts first, setting up chart of accounts, and then let's say you want to create a revenue account like this, income account type is income, and then you select either product income type or fee income, service income type, or well, if it's a non-profit, then non-profit, or other primary. So you can select type of detail type. You can't change this, you can add anything, you just have to select whatever is the closest one is applicable to you. You don't want to select unapplied cash payment, so you want to select service or product or non-profit or other primary income. Okay, let's see what type of income I have in here. Okay, so looks like I already have a income account in here. So one is the income one, product income, right? And if you don't sell product, you want to make the service, you can always add it or create a new one. If you have both, if you have one for product and one for service, you can change it. Let's say I want to make this product in product sales. Let's change it to product sales. Alright, I want to have one more for service type income. Go to income in here, and the detail type is service income. So right here, service fee income. Alright, and you can always add it if you don't like the name, let's say product sales, or let's say you want to call it product sales income. So underneath, next to run report, there's edit, and you want to add income. Alright, so you know how to edit now, and for some reason you don't want those accounts, you want to delete. There's no delete in QuickBooks, but you can make it inactive. Okay, and now let's say you need to add you already have a bunch of expense accounts in here, and for some reason you need to add more, or you need for specific expense type. Into bank is the expense in here at the bottom in here. So expense, whatever it is, cost of labor, dues and so let's say dues and subscriptions. So if it is already on the list, it will say, hey, it's already on the list. If it's not, then you will be able to save it. All right, so it's a new one. Okay. All right. Okay. So this is the three lines here. It's a collapsible NIF navigation, but you can collapse it. Then you'll have more real estate, to work on it. Okay, now you're back to accounting. So chart of accounts is done, and if you want to run report for any account, all you have to do is run report in here. So most of it, all the accounts you should have run report in here. Okay, and now you want to ready to connect. Okay, so if you want to connect, all you have to do is select connect bank. So before you connect from the banking, you don't want to connect from the banking. You can connect from banking too. See the transactions, banking. Okay, but it's better to create your own account, as I did here, and then you select the connect bank. Then what will happen is, let's say it's a Chase, then just continue it, and then it'll ask you your password and all that thing. This is exactly the way you log in to your bank account, not the QuickBooks account, but the bank account, and then user password. So then next thing it'll ask you, it'll connect, and you'll ask you when do you want to start downloading thing, for how many months, if you want, you can start from January 1, 2020, or whatever time frame you want. So normally some banks, like Chase, or you can download up to 2 years. Some banks is still limited to 90 days, so it's up to you. So let's make sure you know how far you want to download the transactions. You want to start from January 1 or 2019, from January 1 2019, or you want to go back to 2018, but they allow you. Otherwise it will be just 90 days, and then you will need to import transactions from there. So you need to download CSV file. Okay, so CSV file is right here. So you can import CSV file. You need to download from your bank whatever transactions you need, and then import it here. And here's a download sample file. It's basically 4 columns. It will be like a date, description, and 2 columns, for one for expenses, the other ones for deposits or income type. Okay, so now this one doesn't have any transactions. I'm gonna go to the other. I have another companies has transactions. I'm gonna do the demo for you. Alright, so switch company. So if you have just one company, you won't see it because I have several companies in here. That's why you're saying switch company. If you're just signing up for one company, then basically you won't see switch company. So I'm going to select switch company, and as you can see, I have several in here. Alright, so this one has transactions. Okay, and go to banking. So the other ones, sometimes they call it transactions, sometimes banking, so it goes to the same place. So once it's connected, then it will download transactions like this, and then it will download transactions like this, and then it will be you will see it under for review side. So for review, so it's a download, and your job is to categorize and then add. Okay, in this case, see add in here, and its category is not defined, so you need to figure out what is this. Let's say this one is the. So if you want to track vendor, you pay So in this case I have Ralph, or if you don't want to track it, vendor, that's fine. I'm just going to say Ralph, and see right here, you can just save it, or if you want to include all the detailed vendor information, you can click details. It will be like this, right? Fill out all the forms if you need. Okay, and let's say this is for meals, travel meals, or something, whatever account you want to use, you know. You can select the expense accounts from here. Okay, I only have few expense accounts on this one. Alright, just travel, or you can just add in here. Let's say you want to add new account from here, you can do it from here too. See, right here. Okay, detail time, let's see what do they have in here. So if it's not on the list, then you can just select the other business expenses, you know. Alright, so you can say promotional meals. This really doesn't matter, so just say travel meals, or just meals entertainment. Okay, so you can just, and then if it's related to customer, then you can select customer, you know, if you or if you're billing, make it billable, or if you billable, you want to bill back this cost to your customer, then you select billable box. And this one, as I said, this is a plus plan. If you have essentials and Simple Star, you won't see all this billable customer class options. All right, so let's say I don't want to bill. This is just my just want to track related to my customers, and this is the services type. Okay, and then I'm going to add this. Okay, so once you add it, what happens now? So basically, bank will download. It's not in the QuickBooks registered yet. So once you add it, then you should see it in QuickBooks now. The one we added is right here, Ralph. And let's say you know, you can click this and see the actual transaction, how it created this transaction. So it created a transaction like expense form and like this, you know. And if you want to change anything, you can do it here too. You know, let's say I want to include reference number like this, you know, or more information you want to type in like this, and payment method if you want to include it, bank card like this. Okay, and then you will see save and new, and this is the default one now. If you want to change it to save and close, that's fine. You can select save and close, and then this becomes sticky. So now this is a sticky one. Next time you will see save and close. Alright, so I'm going to say yes. Okay, so now it's right here. And if you don't want to do this, you can undo it too. So what undo means is basically once you undo it from your reviewed QuickBooks one, if you do it undo it under reviewed, then we'll move back to for review again. Alright, so I'm going to undo it. Now go to review. You see it right here again, see? Alright, so you have the expenses, and you want to make a rule out from this. So whenever you see vendor is Ralph, I want to make sure it goes to the meals account, meals entertainment account. Alright, and let's say you have a customer specific to this, otherwise just leave it blank. And you have a class, you can select class, and if you have location, you select location, and create rule from this transaction. Next time what will happen is based on this transaction, it will automatically categorize for you to review or automatically post it. Okay, so you create a rule in here like this, and let's say the vendor is, whenever you see creating conditions in here, whenever you see payments to expenses to Ralph, make sure it goes to this meals entertainment account, and the amount may vary, so you don't want this. Just click this trash can. So now whenever you see Ralph, it goes to that account. So we have money like fixed rent, you pay $1,000 to your landlord every month, then you can have that amount fixed too. Okay, and you come down and you will see what type of rule you want to create in the auto add or manual review. So manual review is, you basically categorize it, then you need to add it. Auto add is basically it automatically add to register whenever we have this type of transaction with these conditions. It automatically add to your QuickBooks register. So this is like a huge time saver one. So I'm going to make this auto add. Save it. Okay, so now there is a rule in here, and just click the add, so you have everything in here. And if you see another route, it will ask you, do you want to use the same rule? And if you say yes, just add it like this. Okay, and if you want to go back and edit rules, you can do it here. So there's a rule in here, so probably at the bottom in here you can edit the rule, whatever conditions you want to change it, and if you want to split, you can do that too. Let's say $10 you want to categorize the meals, and $4 something, the remainder is something else. You can do that too. See the amount or percentage, if it's 50-50 or whatever percentage you need, you can do that. All right, or amount, let's say $10 is for this, and the remainder goes to some other account, so you have an option there. Okay, let's go back to banking again. Okay, so now what we have is okay, and you have other expenses. Let's say you're creating sales receipt. You have already created a sales receipt, and now you see the $400 deposit to your bank account. All right, so just match it. So let's just talk about the difference between add and match. So add is basically you haven't created transaction, and now you're creating a new transaction. The match means you have already created transaction, and you just want to match that transaction to your bank feed, and that way it won't duplicate that income or that transaction. So if you have already created transaction in QuickBooks, you don't want to add. So you should see the match in here. You should see the match of $400, and you can see here says I have already created a sales receipt for this. So it's a sales receipt, and as you can see, deposit to that account. Okay, and let's say you have $400, but you don't see match, then you can click it here and then select the find other records. Then on the list you will see all the in this case I only have one $400 receipt, so it could be let's say for some reason you create a sales receipt for $390 and the deposit is $400, so there's a difference, or just the bank feed couldn't locate your deposit, so you need to come here and find it and then select like this. And if there is a difference, then you have to click the resolve, and then you have to select where that money is coming from. Let's say this you went to the bank and added you deposited 2 checks. One is for 400, the other one is 200. Let's say total is 600, but you have created sales receipt for 400, but you haven't created sales receipt or deposit for 200. Then this is where you come in, and either you create sales receipt for difference, or you can just categorize whatever it is, Alright, so if it's for sales, and if you are creating sales receipt, then it's better to create sales receipt and then combine those two. Okay, so now we talked about for review, and you will see add and match and the transfer. Okay, so let's talk about transfer in here. Let's see, I have a transfer in here. Yeah, here's one transfer in here. Okay, so transfer is basically transferring from one bank account to another. Let's say, for example, you have credit card account and you are making payment from your checking account to credit card account, or you're just transferring money from your checking to savings, or vice versa. And so that's the record. So transfer, you will see only the balanced accounts in here. See all the balanced account. You won't see the expenses in here. Okay, so let's say if you're making payment for some credit card, you just select the credit card account like this, check credit card account, or just transferring to some other account, check savings account like this, and then select record transfer. Okay, and so what happens sometime it may show as transfer, but it's not really a transfer, it's just your expense type. The bank downloaded as transfer type. Alright, what you do, just go to it's on record, so then change the radio button to add, from record transfer to add like this, and then you can add expense. I'll say this is the you want to say Best Buy and bought something. Alright, so you can purchase something or something like that, so it's when bank is downloading, it could just say transfer, and that's not transfer, it's real expense. You can just come back and change it. So all you have to do is, if it's a record transfer, showing record transfer, and then change to add. Simple as that. Okay, and now so now expenses, banking. So if you want to use apps, then you can create apps in here, banking apps in here, and so receipts in here. I'm going to click receipts in here. Alright, before I do that, let's just do one more time here. Alright, so the sales receipt is to match it, and you can do the same thing for expenses. Okay, if you are creating expenses and then you're trying to match it when in your bank feed, then you can do that too. Let's say this one is 5831. Okay, so duplicate in here. I'm going to create duplicate. Okay, so I'm going to create transaction, expense transaction, new transaction. Alright, this is expense, let's say. Alright, so this is you creating expenses. So this one is you're creating expense and you are trying to match it with your bank download. Okay, so let's say this is the PayPal one, and it doesn't have to be PayPal. You know, it could be anything, vendor. Alright, reference number, and permit. So if you don't have permit number or reference number, it doesn't matter. You can delete that blank. Alright, so the category is, let's say, purchases. Okay, let's say the amount is 550 and 550. Okay, and you have this is you bought it for some customer, like this. Again, if you don't have plus or advanced, you won't have these fields. Billable, it will just be category, description, and amount, and you won't see billable, tax, customer, class, all that thing. Okay, and the date is 8/31/2015. Alright, so 8/31/2015. Alright, so let's say you did it 2 days ahead of that. Alright, 29. Okay, I'm going to save this and see what happens. Okay, so now I go to the bank and I'm going to refresh this and see what happens. You will see match in here. See right here, one record found, match. Okay, so you got an idea now, right? So just match it now. So they're asking, is it this one or that one? You know, you have 2 transactions on that day, or 3 transactions on that day. So just select the one you want to match. If you click it, it will give you option in here. Alright, so just match it. That's done. Alright, so I've got an idea now. And one more thing. So what is the excluded one? Let's say you downloaded transactions and it's duplicate, you know, you don't need it. So or bank downloaded, you know, twice. You know, it happens once in a while. Or certain transactions you don't want to post that in QuickBooks, although you don't want to do that. Alright, so you want to move to excluded. It's basically excluded is you don't want to see that in QuickBooks. So all you have to do is click this. Let's say these 2 transactions, you don't want to see it. Under BAT, exclude selected. Now if you go to excluded, you see it here. And at this point you can delete all these, permanently delete, right? Or you can just undo it and then we'll move back for review again. So in this case, I don't want to delete. These are good transactions. I want to undo it. So basically, so it will move from for review to excluded. If you don't want to post those transactions to QuickBooks register. So in this case, I want to undo it again. All right, so it's back to for review again. Okay. So that's about the banking. Okay, now let's go back to the sales in here. Okay, now you want to create invoices. See, it's new transaction. You can import transactions if you have Square or Excel by SAS, or you can import directly from your Excel too. So if you click the gear icon and then import data and then select invoices. So we have a separate video for this, so you can check it out. We have videos on just about everything, you know, just about okay, so you want to check it out, our YouTube channel. Okay, so you invoices and then you upload it here. It will give you the sample file format in here. Alright, so I just want to go back to all sales again, and I want to create invoice. So invoice. Okay, so this is the invoice form. Let's say I want to invoice something. Alright, so if you use a project related, in this sample file I have a project, so you can select a project if you want and all these things, and then so you have a class, if you're using customized fields, let's say this is customer sales order number or PO number, and state, I'm selling this to California. Or if you need to track city for some reason, city, state, like this. Alright, so I'm going to create a product in here. Okay, so you can just type it, whatever price you want. Alright, let's say the quantity is 10. So in this case, if you just hover around this field, you will see what's the quantity on hand here. So this one I'm tracking inventory. So if you don't have inventory, then you won't see it. Alright, so the next line, let's say I select another one, like this. This is the $100 one. So if you hover around here, you'll see, inventory label. And if it's taxable, then then select the tax box here. So normally when you create this product service item, then you can make it taxable or not taxable. Alright, let's just select another one here, service type here. Let's see, I have a service in here. Yeah, here's a service one. So this is alright, so this is services. You can always change it here. Let's say this is okay, so let's say this is non-taxable, then select it and then save it. Oh, okay, so I got to change the date in here. It's saying I didn't create those inventory in 2015, so I got to change it. Let's say it's January, whatever it is, 2019 now, let's say, or 2020. Okay, save it. Okay, so now you created invoice and you want to see how it's posted to QuickBooks. You click more and transaction journal. Right here, so this is how it created transactions. Account receivable, so whenever you create invoice, it will create accounts receivable, of course. And then this is inventory one, it's a cost of goods sold, sales account, and it pulls out from inventory asset account and product income and cost of goods sold and all the other accounts. And it's taxable, so it pays different accounts. Okay, so this is how it works. Okay, and then once you receive the payment, let's say all sales in here. So these are all open invoices. So once you receive the payment, all you have to do is to say receive payment. This happens with different invoice. You can receive payment on one invoice or several invoices. Let's say you receive payment on these invoices, and or you can select more. Let's say you receive payment on all those invoices. Lucky. Alright, let's change the date to, let's say, okay, and you can select the payment method. let's say you see big check number like this, and you want to deposit a check to checking. See all these open invoices I have in here. Alright, save and close. Now these invoices are paid. Okay, so you got an idea. So if you can see overview in here, right, all the graphs and stuff, and if you select all sales, it will give you money bar in here. So you have two estimates left, you have no unbilled activity, and you have overdue and open invoices and paid in last 30 days. Okay, so let's say you want to enter some expenses and we want to make it billable. Alright, so let's go to expenses and create new transaction. Let's say this is the expense one. You can select difference between bill, it's like vendor bill, it's you haven't paid it yet, it will create accounts payable. The expense is you already paid it either by bank card or credit card, and check is you're writing check to pay this bill or as a new expense. Alright, so I'm just going to use expense. Okay, and let's say the vendor, let's say this is for advertising, and I'm using this bank. If it's a different bank or credit card, you can select it. Alright, so I'm going to use bank card, not writing check. Okay, and the alright, this is the advertising. Let's say advertising promotional, and the amount is, let's say, $1,000, and I want to make this billable, and this is related to this Adam's project, and class is this. Okay, so I'm gonna make this I paid $1,000 to this company, and I want to make this billable. In this case, I don't have a markup one, so it's basically saying you paid $1,000 and you bill the same amount to customer. And if you want to make markup, use markup, then you have to change it. Go back to the settings in here. See, default markup. Turn on settings. Yes. So now you have a markup in here, although you lost that information. So you go back to ACE advertising. Let's say paid by bank card. Advertising, and $1,000, and I want to make it billable, and let's say it's 25%, and select the customer, project, and the class, services. Okay, again, you won't have this feature if you have essentials or a simple start. Only on plus and advanced you'll have this billable feature. Save and close. Okay, so what's next now? So you go to sales and all sales. See, right now you see one unbilled activity, right? So just click that one. Now you can bill back to your customer. Alright, I'm just going to open this right here. This is how it looks. So you raise the invoice. You can invoice more than one, or just one in here in this case. Normally if you click it, it will open. Okay, it's not opening on this one, so what I'm going to do is status is open. Okay, I'm going to just invoice this. New invoice. Okay, select the customer. So as you can see here, the sales panel, it opens sales panel and it'll tell you which one. Just add this one. It's right here. It's already added. All right. So it shows 25% markup on screen, but when the prints are sent out, you won't see that. All right. So you can see it here. See printer preview. See, just the amount, but not the markup one. And if you want to add description, you can add it here. Description in here, Ace Advertising. If you need to add something under description. Okay, and let's say you just want to find out go back and you want to review it again. So just see next to review, next to invoice, there's a little clock icon. That's to review recent invoices. Just click that one right here. Let's see, you want to preview it. Right here, so description and everything. Right, this is for service. That's why you're not seeing quantity rate in here. Okay, so this is how the billable feature works. And let's go back in here. So if you go back to projects, you will see those transactions as well. So this one in here, so right here will give you income, cost, and profit, and all that information. And if you want to see the transactions, last transactions, right here, this is the one that's added. Okay, and you can run the project report, all that thing in here, like this. Just like income statement type. Okay, you can run it by month if you want. Like this, or you can change it to quarterly. You got an idea now. Okay, so you got an idea. Alright, so let's go back to alright, so we went through sales, expenses, banking, projects, and if you have a contractors, you can use contractors too. So it's basically invite your contractors, and then they will add contractor. So right here, name and email, you just send them and they will receive the email, and they have to fill out the form and go from there. And then you'll have a copy of their form. Okay, we went through accounting, startup account, and if you want to invite your accountant, just click My Accountant, and then you can just share documents. If you want to, in this case, let's just say you can do it from here too. Manage users, it goes to the same place. Accounting forms, and then you just invite. Invite. Just type name, email, and once they receive the email, they'll just have to accept it. But make sure you have the valid email address from your accountant, and then accept, and they'll have full information about your company, full access to your company information. Okay, and they have a miles thing. You can check it out. It's not a big thing. And then if you want to buy some app, third-party apps, you can come here and all these things. And once you buy it, then you will see under my apps like this, Okay, and then you can run reports right here. Go to reports. So these are the favorites, and I have on top. That way you don't have to scroll all the way down and see it. So if you want to see it, make it your favorites. You want to see the report on top. All you have to do is just click this. Let's say I want to see this report. I don't want to come down all the way. So sales by customer summary. Just the see. Just click that one, and now you will see it on top in here. Right here. It's here. And let's say this list is too big and you don't want it. Right here. So if you don't want to see it, then just uncheck it. Like this. Like this. Alright, so profit and loss. You can check any report you want, like this. And you can change the reporting period, like this month. Like this. And if you want to customize it, you can just click customize, and then whatever you need to do, and then save customization, and then you can add this to a group of people, share it, and once you do that, then what will happen is, see, right now it's now the standard report, and you customize it, you will see it in here, custom reports, right here. These are all the custom reports you created, your own report. Okay, all right. And then if you have a payroll, then you'll have employees in here, like this. Okay. All right, I think that's about it. So basically, and then if you want to add product and services, like here, you go to the product and services, just click new, and you're creating inventory type, non-inventory service. So if you're creating inventory, that one, and create name, SKU, category, and initial quantity on hand is always 0 unless you are transferring inventory from your previous accounting. Then you will have some quantity for one time. Otherwise, if you're just starting and it's a new item, then it's always 0. Alright, so and as of date, let's say you want to do it from today. Okay, but you can't create invoice prior to 2/23. So if you have inventory, you bought it on 2/1, you can just change it to 2/1. That way you can create invoice, depends. Alright, and the reorder point is the open field option. You can put it now or later on, and you don't want to change this account. It's a default account. QuickBooks created. It works. The inventory asset is the one you want to use, and you can't use multiple inventory accounts. They just have one account, default account. Same thing with accounts receivable and accounts payable. And then you can select the income account, and is it taxable or not. And then purchasing information, this is for the using the sales for purchase orders, and you can select the vendor, and then normally for the inventory, it goes to cost of goods sold, and then you put the cost, how much you're paying, and the sales price. This is the one, it goes to your invoice or sales receipt, and you can always manually adjust it, but you got to have a sales price. But the cost, it doesn't matter. It will track based on how much you actually pay to your vendors. You can put a reasonable number there, but it pulls out from your actual whatever amount you pay to your vendor. Okay. All right. So this is the FIFO, first in first out method, quick inventory method. Okay, and then let's see here. And then the recurring type, if you have certain recurring transactions you want to post, let's say you have maintenance, billing, you have customers, and you can create a recurring type in all these. So they have so you have for transaction, bill, all these. Let's say you have invoice. Okay, so they have three types. One, you can just schedule it. Let's say I want to invoice my customers on every month, every first of the month, or just I want to create this recurring, but just remind me, or just make it unscheduled. That means it's there, but if you want to create transaction, then you come here and then post it. Okay, and then attachments, if you want to attach a few things and then create transaction, then you can come here, like this. You can download and attach the receipts to your expense items. Okay, and then you have a QuickBooks Lab. Sometimes they add Lab. It's on the beta thing, and then you can import your own template too for your sales invoices. Okay, let's see what else. And if you want to import data like a list, it's not real data, a chart of account importing, or vendors or customers, or the bank data. This is the CSV file. You have historical transactions from last year or something like that, or missing transaction, you want to upload it, so you can come here. You can just do CSV file here, so you can download transactions like CSV, QFX, or QBO, or these are the formats you can import. Okay, and then if you want to sign out, just sign out right here. And if you want to reconcile your bank account, you come here. And if you want to create budgeting, and this is on plus only, plus and advance. And if you want to check your audit log, so this tells you who signed in, who signed out, and what type of transaction you created, and this is where you come audit log. Okay, and if you want to update password or update your profile, just come here and click into the account. Okay, and if you want to send feedback to QuickBooks, this feedback is right here. I'll just sign out again. Okay, so that's about it on QuickBooks Online. Hopefully this is helpful to you. Anyways, so you can visit our website, newqbo.com, and this is our QBO blog, and you can also subscribe to our YouTube channels. Right here we have all kinds of free video tutorials, and we have 2 channels. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channels if it's helpful to you. PP Controller and QuickBooks QBO. QuickBooks QBO and PP Controller. Again, thank you. Bye.